What if I told you this guy is a full-time travel filmmaker? And that means he gets paid by companies and brands to travel the world and make videos for them. And the best part is, he was able to do all of this essentially with no social media following. But I know you might be thinking, this guy must have rich parents and a trust fund to pay for it all. Well, you'd be correct.
Well, my parents' trust fund really helped.
Just kidding. That couldn't be further from the truth. We sat down with Sam to ask him how he was able to do this and get paid to travel full time. Also, at the end of this video, we'll be giving you a step-by-step breakdown for how you can become a travel filmmaker too. Gotta make sure my video is recording. Nice.
So, Sam, how was the yogurt?
And he's in the middle of eating.
Sorry.
Nice.
I got him at the worst time. He's eating.
It was a bad move to take that second bite. It was great. The yogurt's great. I'm doing great. You guys are looking great. Thank you for having me.
Sam started his travel filmmaking journey how pretty much everyone starts their filmmaking journey, and that's by creating videos for literally anybody that will hire him.
I found out in college that I wanted to be a filmmaker, and then a sorority on campus asked me to make a recruitment video for them, and they're the queens of social media, and so I made one, and that just blew up, and from that day on, I was like, I wanted to be a filmmaker, or at least make videos.
That's right. Sam's first video was for a sorority at his college. It wasn't sexy, but it was a start. And that's where he found his love for filmmaking and knew that he wanted to turn this into his job. Okay, real quick, this video is brought to you with the help of Riverside. I'm being serious here, but if you've never heard of Riverside before or you don't know what it is, you are missing out. Riverside is the easiest way for you and your team to record, edit, and share professional-grade video content and podcasts from anywhere in the world. Have you ever used something like Zoom and when you're recording a meeting, you see that it's always really bad quality and doesn't really look very good? Well, Riverside fixes that. Riverside is unique because it actually records up to 4K videos locally onto each participant's computer and automatically uploads those videos afterwards so that you have perfect quality every single time. For example, with this interview with Sam, we were over 1,100 miles away from each other, and we were able to record each of our angles in 4K, and Riverside automatically uploaded it during our meeting so that when we were done, I had everyone's angles in perfect quality. There's no need to upload it to the cloud and deal with all that. Riverside also has a built-in AI transcriber, so you can easily get full transcriptions of your conversations with just one click. And another feature that's actually new to Riverside is their Magic Clips feature. This uses AI to easily create short-form content from your recording in seconds without having to spend hours looking for the best bits yourself. So for example, to make a short clip of a podcast that I recorded earlier today, I just need to hit this button and boom, there we go. If you're interested in checking out Riverside for yourself, go to the link in the description and you can use the code TMS at checkout for an additional 15% discount on Riverside. Trust me, I highly, highly recommend it. Anyways, back to the video. And it's not like he started and then within a couple of weeks, he was on a plane headed to Thailand to make videos. He started out just doing freelance filmmaking. When you're starting out, your whole job isn't even to get the biggest clients you possibly can or to land the highest paying job. It's just to build a body of work that you can then show to other people to prove that you can actually make videos.
The only way to do it is by doing it, right? The only way to be a travel filmmaker is by making travel films. The only way to be a music video director is by making music videos. The only way to do anything is by doing it. And so whether or not you have the money, you have to find a way to go make something. I would say spec work is the absolute best way to do that.
That's right, spec work. We've said it before and we'll say it again, but spec work is a perfect way to develop your skills and also make videos that you can put on your portfolio to, again, prove to people that you can actually make good videos. And another thing that Sam is actually a big proponent of is doing free work.
People always hate on free work and people are always like, make sure they value you or make sure you know your value. And for me, that's all bullshit because if you're in that predicament in the first place, then you probably don't have a ton of value to begin with.
So from there, you did videos in college and then now you're a travel filmmaker. How do those two points connect?
I graduated college and I know this is what I want to do. I want to make videos, or at least try. There's no point in applying for jobs. I wanted to travel. Furthest I'd ever traveled was Mexico. I remember I had just under $1,000 in my bank account when I graduated college, and I got an offer to do a wedding. Yeah, then I went and shot a wedding. I think I got like $2,500, which was enough money to fly to Europe, Guam, Vietnam, Kenya, Thailand, and that's it. I had paid off the majority of my student loans by doing videos in college. So I was like, well, why not reach out to companies? We made a list of like 3,000, 4,000 companies. And we reached out to all of them before we went.
Cold emails. That's basically it. Sam was able to get his trip covered for him by emailing literally anybody and everybody, asking if he could make a video for them in exchange for some sort of money or some sort of a trade in terms of product or service.
They're mostly direct-to-consumer companies. So, right, if you make hats, watches, anything we could fit in a backpack. Backpacks, water bottles.
And when it comes down to sending cold emails, it's all a numbers game. The more emails you send, the more chances you'll have because volume is key.
We had an Excel doc, not kidding, like 5,000 companies. We reached out to them, get us on a phone call, right?
Using this exact method of cold outreach, Sam was able to become a full-time travel filmmaker.
And you paid for all of this doing this whole like email,
100% through, basically I was finding people to pay for my plane ticket and put me up. Don't pay me, just get me there.
And something that's interesting is that Sam wasn't always working directly for cash. Sometimes it would be a video in exchange for some product, an experience, or accommodation even, you name it.
This company had a music festival out in Guam. They're based out of Guam. And I flew out there and filmed the recap video. It was like a one weekend thing, but I was like, can I stay on your guys' couch for 3 weeks? And so I spent basically a month in Guam.
And if you think about it, once you get going, this is kind of a self-fulfilling system. Sam would make videos for brands while he was traveling, which he could then use to send to other brands to get them to pay for him to travel to the next location. The more work you have, the easier this will get.
Did it become easier once you had a portfolio?
So much easier. To start to push the boulder up the hill is hard, but once it starts rolling, it's like, okay, cool, we got a little momentum.
After doing this for a while, Sam was able to build this up to quite a substantial business.
By the time 2020 was rolling around, we had clients like Starbucks, Omega Watches, Shangri-La Hotels, so like very well-known, well-established, high-paying clients. And like Q1 2020, we were gonna make like $150,000 in projects. Like we had a lot lined up, and then everything happened and went down the way it did.
And the best part of this whole thing is that Sam was able to do pretty much all of this with basically zero social media following. And I know you might be thinking, wait, that's not true. Sam has 148,000 subscribers on YouTube, 80K on Instagram. He wears a turtleneck and makes music videos that get hundreds of thousands of views. And that is also true. However, keep in mind that he only became popular on social media after he already was a full-time travel filmmaker.
As terrible as the pandemic was for so many people, for me it helped because I had all that time and space. I'm like, well, I can't travel anymore. Let's turn around and make some YouTube videos. And that's when my YouTube took off.
Okay, so if you're just starting out and you want to do this for yourself, how exactly do you do it? Well, I'm gonna break it down for you. After talking to Sam, it became very clear that the key to success with this is to be persistent and have a mission. If you want to become a full-time travel filmmaker, there is no reason that you can't copy exactly what Sam did for yourself. So if I was just starting out and I wanted to become a full-time travel filmmaker, this is exactly what I would do. First, I would plan a trip to somewhere that I want to travel. Sam did Europe, but I could literally do anywhere I wanted. Next, I would give myself about 4 months to start reaching out to brands. After that, I would then put together a portfolio of whatever videos I've already made that shows my skills. Like in Sam's case, they don't even have to be travel related.
So when you were like the first batch of emails you sent to the first companies, did you have anything to point to, I know how to make videos, or was it just, trust me, bro?
A little bit of both.
Are you sending the sorority video to them? Being like,
yeah,
no,
it was like,
but like
my UC Davis stuff. Yeah, so it was like all my college stuff.
Now, once you put together a portfolio, you start reaching out. Build a list of any and all brands that you could work with, like t-shirt companies, hat companies, apparel, jewelry, water bottles, anything. Even look at the places you plan to go and email the hotels, hostels, and experiences along the way. The next step is to start reaching out to them. This is gonna be hard work, but start sending emails to every single person on that list and start pitching the trip and explaining in your email that you'll create travel content for them with their product in a bunch of different exotic locations. In return, they give you money or most likely free product.
Anything we can fit in a backpack, right? If you make hats, watches, backpacks, water bottles, that or experience-based stuff. Anything we didn't need to actually pack, like hotels, rental car, stuff like that, experience-based.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be a single video that you pitch. With the rise of short-form content like TikToks and Reels, you can pitch businesses and brands that you'll create short-form content for them. I personally know people who don't have a huge social media following and have been paid to travel to resorts to create a couple TikToks for them, and they paid for everything. It was awesome. If you follow that 4-step plan, I guarantee that you'll be shocked with how far you've gone and how many opportunities you get. Now, I know that if you follow all the things that I talked about, you're probably not going to be getting your whole trip paid for. But just remember, this is the beginning and it's a start.
Persistency, understanding that this is a long game, understanding that this is not something that's going to happen immediately is so important. I think there's so much bullshit on the internet of like, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. And that's what stresses people out, because everyone's telling you what is right and what is wrong and what works and what doesn't work. And the only way to do anything is by figuring it out yourself. You can take advice from whoever you want to take advice from, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
You might also be thinking that nowadays this is all too oversaturated to do and there's no opportunities left. But that is where you are totally wrong.
With travel filmmaking, you can see on Instagram that there's a ton of them. Do you still think there's an opportunity for more people to get into it and become travel filmmakers?
Absolutely. I think now more than ever there's an opportunity. I think with the advent of Reels and TikTok, it's easier now than it has ever been, even though it's still more saturated. Like, you don't need a following for a video to blow up anymore.
When Sam started in 2017, being an influencer or a travel filmmaker was not nearly as big as it is today. So a vast majority of brands didn't even slightly consider the idea, but nowadays influencer marketing is so much more common and brands are way more used to the idea of paying people to make content for them. There's also a much bigger demand for good content nowadays. So it's actually probably gotten significantly easier than it was.
So much money.
This would have been
2016.
2016. Okay, so I guess influencer and travel influencing isn't as big.
For me, it's like a proof of concept of like, if you reach out to enough people, if you have that persistence, eventually you're going to get a yes. You're going to come across somebody who's going to say yes to you. And sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get a marketing manager who was just hired, who's looking for new people, and they're like, actually, yeah, it's kind of a cool idea. You never really know unless you do it.
With all this being said, it does still take time. Building your skills and your portfolio doesn't happen overnight, and that's why persistence is one of the most important aspects. A lot of times people sell the idea of telling you that you can become a full-time travel filmmaker in just 30 days, but that is not true. To build a proper career in this space and establish yourself, it does take time.
On the internet, there's so many things like how to say make $10,000 a month in 30 days, or how to do this, or like how to do all these things as fast as possible. It's not that those are not impossible things to do, but it's just oftentimes they in the video and they try to sell it to you in their course as in 30 days. And it's like, no, take that, times it by 12, and maybe you'll be halfway there.
Because nobody wants how to build your travel filmmaking career in over 10 years. Not very sexy.
And with that being said, if you want to see the whole conversation and everything that we talked about, we do have a full podcast episode covering everything, so you can go check it out down below. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys go out there and become full-time travel filmmakers, because it is an awesome job. If you like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because it really helps us out. And I'll see you guys in a future video.